Starting strength lifts, day 7. Warm-up, back squats with 45-pound bar. The following lifts are based on Mark Ripata's excellent book, Starting Strength, Basic Barbell Training, 3rd edition. Any errors in form are purely my own and not Ripata's method. Squat today is going to be 90. I'm going to do bench press twice in a row. Maybe I should do overhead though. For 90 and deadlift for 130. I'm going to warm up with a squat with just the bar at 45. I actually did 2 rounds at CrossFit today of overhead press, and I did that at 65 pounds, but there were 15 reps in each round, so I think I'm going to stick with bench press today. Okay, right now I'm going to do squats at 65 pounds. Another warm-up round. I did adjust the safety catch down on that round, so I wouldn't be tapping it. Okay, the squat weight I'm going for here is 90 pounds. So the bar is 45, and there's 45 pounds worth of weights. That's 2 10-pound plates on either side, which make 40, and 2 2.5-pound plates, which make another 5. So 45 and 45 is 90. That didn't feel too bad. My shoulder's all taped up from going into the local chiros practice this past yesterday, actually, and had my shoulder worked on. They did some really nice adjustments to it, and it sounded like gristle popping at spots and a fair amount of discomfort, but it did seem to improve my lifting this morning at CrossFit quite a bit. Still have a lot of cardio strength I need to gain to get through doing the burpees and all those sorts of things. Okay, that was a 1 minute and 30-second mark after my first round of squats. I'm going to give it a little bit longer, going to shoot for one full 3-minute rest here and see how that works out for me. Starting strength is a program for beginners to build their lifting strength through doing the 4 basic lifts. The squat that I'm doing behind me here is something that's done every single lift day. The second lift is either a bench press or an overhead press, and the 4th type of lift, or 3rd lift for every day, is the deadlift from the ground of the full weight. That weight tends to be a heavier weight than the others. I think from what I understand, gas runs out sooner in the overhead press than on the squat, and I can sort of see that. I was struggling last time with the overhead presses, and my squat was fine. So now whether I've got good form or not is a different question. That's what this is all about in the beginning, is figuring out your form. But the progressive method of it is to progress in increasing amounts of weights every time you come into the gym. And hopefully, in my case, I've been going up about 5 pounds, which is nice because eventually you get to where that gets limited, and at some point you switch to another program other than the LP. All right. Okay, here's my set. Second set of the squat. So my equipment here in the gym is a Titan R2 rack. I think they run about $300. It's a very nice rack, very solid, strong bolts, self-locking K-nuts to hold everything together. The bar I have is an Ohio Rogue 2.0 bar, and again, another very nice bar. I opted to spend a little bit more money and buy the plates that have color. And those colored plates should make it easier to figure out what weight I'm at. Also bought a set over here of micro plates that go up in very small steps of weight for when the linear progression gets tough. The smallest weight here, can't read it, but it's pretty small. And then it goes up in steps, a pair for either side. So what a power rack gives you, back to that, what a power rack gives you is these safety pins on the side. You can move the J hooks around and put your bar anywhere you want. But these safety hooks, as in the case of the squat that I'm doing here, those safety hooks give you safety so that if you just can't do it and you can't dump it, that you would then fold over, that's the 1 minute 30-second mark, fold over down to the bottom of the rack and collapse down and escape under it. The same set of safety pins can be moved, similar to their J-hooks as well, moved up to support different heights for the bench press as well. So again, making it safe if you don't have a spotter, that if you dropped the bar during the bench press, that you wouldn't have your chest or neck or something else crushed. Important to adjust these properly for whatever height you're lifting so that the bar still touches your chest and you get full range of motion. Also, the bench I have purchased is a Titan bench as well. So the weights are, the bumper plates are all Rogue as well. The bar is Rogue, and the rack is Titan. That same rack from Rogue probably would be close to twice as much money. And it might be a little better, but at some point you gotta make your choices. You can also do pull-ups on the front of that rack. All right, so I had a 3-minute rest between sets here. Going back to the same setup for my third and final lift of the back squat. Lifting is all about safe form. It's worth hiring a coach to work on your form and to tweak it in order to not hurt yourself. If you mess up your back, that's a lifetime injury. Okay, on this rack, I went ahead and labeled every 2 holes with a number from a P-Touch labeler. You can sort of see them here, might be a little small in the camera. But label them all the same so that I can tell Danny, or if I'm setting either side myself, I can say, oh, set this pin in hole 20 or something like that. And then it'll match, and it's easier to tell where you're at. The one thing I haven't done is written down somewhere what set of pins I need to have it in. I just set it up at 12, and I'm not sure where the safety catch needs to be for me here. Slightly hard to tell. I suppose I could use a PVC pipe to sort of get a gauge for it. We have the PVC pipes in here for practicing lifts without having to lift the bar. That would be a little tight. If it landed on me, it would compact me. So I think I'm going to move it up to the next spot up, which looks like it's location 8. Show you how easy it is to move those pins. Let's see. Slide right across and then get in, and then there's a locking catch there. This should be right. I'll double check it with PVC again, just to be sure that it looks right. Don't want to get crushed. Don't mind if it taps a little bit, although I prefer full range of motion. I just don't want to get crushed by the bar, especially with nobody else here. So this is a little bit too high. Now if I arch my back, like those classic lifters do, then it would be right there. So, gosh, I'm tempted to go down just one more notch. I think I could crawl my way out of under it. Another thing that's smart to do when you're bench pressing is to not put the bracelets on the end, locking bracelets, and the purpose there being, if you had to dump it, you could push one side and make the weights hopefully fall off the other side. Let's go back down the side and see how tight that is. Hopefully it's not enough to crush my chest, and enough that I can push my way out of it. Again, by holding on to one side or the other. Let's see how that looks again. Maybe it is 7 I want to be in. Yeah, that'd be tough, but if I dropped it in the right place, or if I was sitting in the right place, here it can't hit my face, so if I had to put it forward, I could drop it here and be plenty okay. The other thing is with my shoulder, I don't want to press straight up. I want to have my shoulders down at an angle and press down below me. So that's okay. I feel that if I dropped it on my stomach here, I'd be fine. The only place it might here would be here on my chest, so I think I have some options, and I can certainly squirm out of under it if it fell on me. So I think we'll go with the 7 for that position. Alright, well, I've set the bar here at 14, which is a good arm extension, I believe. And I've set this down, the safety pins down here at 7, which should be good. And let's see where we are. Did a little more. I was supposed to do 5 for my roundup, I did 7. Or for my warm-up, I did 7. But that felt good. Okay, doing another warm-up round here. One thing I saw in the videos is feet placement with your feet solidly on the ground for the lift. And that seemed to make a lot of sense to me. That way you can kind of straddle and keep safe on the bench. If you start to twist, you can sort of dig in your heel, calves or your thighs into the bench. Perhaps the bench is a little far back, I'm not really sure, can't really figure that out yet. But this is a warm-up set of 65 pounds. Another set. 5 at 65, and we'll go ahead and load it up to 90 now. Okay, first set of 90, 2 10s and a 2.5 on either end. Give 45, the bar is 45. Okay, here's my second set of bench presses at 90 pounds. Again, note I don't have the cuffs on the end, but just in case I had to dump it, I would have the freedom to do that. Just a little bit about the Titan bench. I think this is a 700-pound bench. One of the cool features it has is a handle on the front here, and the other end has a couple of wheels on it, like you would find on a razor scooter or maybe roller blades, but it's bearing wheels. So it's pretty easy to move around. I think it, like I said, I think it does 700 pounds, which counting my weight plus the bar, that means I got a long ways to go. Basically, I think I'm good there. Pretty nice piece of equipment, definitely. Didn't spend a ton of money on the gym, but I think it's adequate for what I want to do. Okay, I'm taking a 3-minute rest between rounds here, so this whole routine is going to take a bit longer than it has been. It's just getting a little bit heavier. This is my third set of bench press for today. Crooked on that one. You can see the weight started to slip out, which is good. That's sort of the desired effect. That was my third set, but normally I push it back in. Seemed like a good round. I think I'm catching, I'm maybe a little too far back in the seat, and I'm catching the bar when I go up, it looks like. So I'll have to adjust that. Not quite sure where the bench sits under the bench press. That's sort of where watching the videos after you do this definitely helps to go back and watch the different starting strength videos to get an idea of how to do each of these things properly. And then tape yourself and try to watch your own tapes and hopefully get somebody that knows something about this to help you evaluate your own tape. Okay, let's do a deadlift warm-up with just the bar. A little hard to get under it just right with just the bar. Gonna follow the Ripito method of bending over, grabbing the bar, which in this case is too low, bringing your shins to the bar, and then butt to the wall and chest up. Let's see how that works. 1, 2. To review the tape, see how that looked. My lower back is straight. Going to do another warm-up set here, this time with the bar at 45 and 50 pounds worth of plates, which should bring me to 95. This time I get my shins just where they need to be, which is about 1 inch from the bar in that method that Ripito uses. Reach over and grab the bar. I recognize my back is pretty curved. Arms should be touching the sides of my legs, but at this point, butt towards the wall and back up, and hopefully as straight as possible, and try to lift it up. Pull. Those last two, I tried to do the shoulder shrug on, pull it back, probably an important thing to do. Alright, let's see if we can do some barbell math. Apparently guys who work with barbells are really good at doing the math for this. I have to keep rerunning the numbers. My goal is 130 pounds. So I have a 45-pound bar two 25-pound plates. That's 50, and 45 is 95 pounds, leaving me with 35 more pounds I have to do, which would be 17 and a half pounds per side. So that's a 10 on each side, a 5, and a 2.5 give me the 17 and a half. So here we go at 130, which I did last week as a 1 rep max. I think I also did this in the gym this week. I think I did 135 actually for 2 sets of 15. So there's a lot more reps in the CrossFit gym than there's going to be in the Gilliland family gym. About 1 inch from the bar. Follow the bend over to the bar method. Grab the bar. Hopefully get the back straight enough. Arms are pushing in the knees. And pull. That didn't feel too heavy. Still early in the linear progression. Got a long ways to go. I think I've deadlifted 185 before.